You know, all my years of doing stories like this on YouTube, I never thought I'd see the day where I normally don't talk about NBA and couples, but LaVar Ball and his wife done so. All because she wanted to leave the man after all he done for her. 30 plus years together. No issues, no drama, none of that. Jada Black, shout outs to him on YouTube. He actually brought up something best that made a lot of sense. When you marry the person that you love all your life, and if you ended up sick or something, if you're going through something, they'll always go through it with you, and they'll help you get through it. And once you got through it, you're the happiest new person of yourself in your life. But as soon as they go through something, they're gonna stick with them too. And as soon as they get themselves together, things will always work for the best, right? Nah. This girl has been to rehab. She had a stroke. He stuck by her side, through thick and thin. And now all of a sudden, she decided to just end the marriage. They've been separated after decades together. And it's obvious to me that she just wanted to leave. Like, how are you going to do that to the person that has been with you all these years? Decades. Like, what exactly did that person did to you to make you actually want to leave that individual? If you feel some type of way about me, you could have at least just talked to me. But, and you wonder why a lot of men out here don't want to get married in the United States. And this is the problem. LaVar and his wife, Tina Ball, are going their separate ways after nearly 3 decades together. The big baller brand CEO shared the update himself, letting everyone know that his longtime partner decided it was time to move on with a different direction. The announcement came during an appearance on content creators Neon's live stream on Wednesday, when fans noticed Tina Ball was not by his side. LaVar Ball kept it real, explaining that she decided to go her own way and wanted to do something else. He made it clear there are no hard feelings on his end, saying he is completely fine with her choice because they had a great run together. Wow. And they say that true love don't last long. Sad, bro. Now, if it were me, 2 things that could happen. 1, I could either crash out, cry mentally or physically, or I could just be like LaVar. Be a man, understand why she chose a different route, not try to fight for my marriage or win her back. If she wants to leave, let her go. But understand that if you play with my heart and emotions like that, there is no going back. Like, I've seen so many marriage stories on social media all the time, and why a lot of men don't want to get married in the US because of stuff like this. That's why the passport bros exist. That's why they go overseas to find love, to find better women out there. And of course, there's bitter modern women on social media that are going to try to say only reason why they're going out of state is because they want to smash chicks from overseas instead of trying to find him a 304, a baddie in the United States. The problem with that is that if you find or date a baddie in the United States, they're not going to treat you like a king. They're going to drain you like how Shang Tsung steals your soul in Mortal Kombat, drain you out of your money, out of your pocket, and drain your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you try to be that good person, that good man in society, and you're doing XYZ for a woman, they're not going to want to return that same energy, because as much as you do something for them, it's not good enough. And that's why I've always say, get your passports, go overseas, find better women out there. Go where you're wanted and appreciated. And if you can't get that here, go overseas. The two tied a knot back in 1997 after meeting at college athletes at Cal State Los Angeles. Over the next 30 years, they built a massive family brand and raised 3 incredibly talented kids who are in the NBA, by the way. Tina Ball, Tina Ball, whose maiden name is Slinsky. Slinsky. That's a weird name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry. Was always right there by her husband's side through all the family's success, even as she worked hard to recover from a major stroke in 2017. Reflecting on their marriage during the stream, LaVar Ball said he always thought she was beautiful and that he is glad they got to experience that kind of long lasting love. Even though their paths are dividing now, he is looking at it at a close chapter that he still appreciates. You know, some people go through hard times after the divorce. Most of them survive and most of them don't. Most of them fall on hard times to the point where they ended up being on the streets doing drugs, and some even commit suicide because they no longer have that support system in their life. I know some family members will always take the man and want to help them get their lives together, but for the most part, I really do feel like time and time again, you always hear divorce stories, and some of them survived and some didn't. So at least he's in good spirits, though. That's the shocking part to me, because like I said, if he were me, I would have probably lost myself after that, because I couldn't love no other woman that has loved me like crazy, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he's so strong about it and it's not crashing out like most divorced people do is amazing to me. So you gotta shout out to LaVar for that. Even sometimes he's not perfect either, but at least he's mature enough to understand that sometimes love don't last long. He also dropped the news that he has stated or started dating someone new since the separation. The host tried to get some details out of him about the new relationship, but LaVar Ball shut that down pretty quickly, jokingly telling him he did not need to worry about that. The couple raised 3 sons who are household names in the NBA. Fans have had an inside look at their tight-knit bond for years on your reality show, Ball and the Family, making this news a bittersweet moment for anyone who has followed their journey from the beginning. I feel like this is pretty much a sad story, but at the same time, it's almost kind of reminds you of how sometimes if love doesn't work out, you can always move on, work on yourself first before you decide to jump into another relationship. Without all of the drama that is added to the situation, you always come out strong, out on top. But my problem with this ex-wife is that she should have never left him, though. After all they've been through together, what's the point? So, like I said, he found someone else. She found someone else. They decided to end it. I guess it's probably the best anyway, because the last thing you want to do is turn it into a Will and Jada Pinkett Smith situation where 2 people cheating on one another, sleeping with one another, having an open marriage and an open relationship. At least LaVar was smart enough to pretty much just end the marriage if things didn't work out. I'm surprised they lasted that long, since '97, which is crazy. The personal news coincides with the busy week from the Ball brothers. LaMelo Ball was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I heard about that news yesterday, which is crazy, because I haven't watched the NBA in a long time. So the fact that he was traded to that team tells me that Minnesota is about to be the most dangerous teams out there now that he's a member of that squad now. While Lonzo Ball, who last suited up for the Cleveland Cavaliers, is currently looking for the next basketball home as a free agent. Meanwhile, LaAngelo Ball is focusing his talents on music as a recording artist. Wow. So you got 2 sons that are in the NBA and 1 son that is in the music. That's still a talented family regardless, bro. I gotta be honest with y'all. If I were to get married now in modern times, I would hope and pray that I find me the right woman, whether it's in church or somewhere that they're not doing OnlyFans. I pray to God that she's not one of those people. If so, then I'm in bad luck. So pray for me, y'all. So what's y'all thoughts on this, man? If you want to link to the article, the link will be in the description.